No, that was as close to BS as you could get out of a government official. 2.5 years in jail, sure, it'll save a lot of money versus life, but he killed 2 Virginians. And I don't think Tim Kaine has ever adequately explained what on earth he was thinking when he tried to transfer Jen Soering to Germany, knowing full well he'd be out of jail right about now, 2.5 years later. He has never really come clean on this. I mean, this is a double murder. This guy stabbed to death his girlfriend's parents, both UVA professors, if I remember correctly. And this is not somebody who should get 2 years in jail. And ironically, as you and I talk, had the transfer gone through, he'd be getting out of jail in Germany right about now. And it's shocking to people to learn. They get downright confused in America when you say he'd have been out in 2.5 years. This is a double murderer who got a life sentence. So did his co-conspirator girlfriend, and it was her parents they killed. It's quite a daughter. But he did the killing. He stabbed them both to death repeatedly. And he would have been out now, as you and I talked, 2.5 years after Governor Kaine tried to transfer him over to Germany, instead of serving a life sentence. And part of the irony here is that his girlfriend and co-conspirator is going to serve out her sentence. She's going to be in jail for the better part of the rest of her life. And he'd have been out in 2.5 years, and he's the one who did the killing. I mean, what all of us run on is, once we've been elected, is our record. It is partly what you tell people you're going to do going forward, and your credibility in saying that, and partly your record of what you've done. And this is a terribly unexplained exercise of the authority he had. This is an extraordinary power the governor has to deal with prisoners directly, and he did try to get this guy out of jail via a 2.5-year diversion to Germany, which is exactly what he'd been asking for, despite the fact that he was a terrible double murderer, cold-blooded murder. I mean, this is not, something from a distance. He stabbed these 2 people to death. The governor is the critical person. We determined what he had to do and what the legal basis for it was, and obviously we've stood behind it and represented him through this case. Steve Whitmer did a great job out of our office in this case. But ultimately, the power rests with the governor as the law sits in Virginia. And so Governor McDonnell's willingness to revoke Governor Kaine's capricious action was absolutely necessary. There was no other way to stop it.